the annual Pepperfest. I am John Schomer, and sitting to my right is my lovely wife, Barbara.
Good morning.
Just a little background history for the Pepperfest. It began in 1954. It started out to help build a new school in North Hudson, to be the North Hudson Elementary School. In 1960, it took a slight break as the schools combined with the Hudson School District, and started up again in 1974 as a one-day event, and now has evolved into this wonderful three-day celebration with the beautiful parade we're about to start seeing today. Remember to get down to the Pepperfest Park by the Village Hall for all the festivities, food, dances, and coronations.
This celebration is known for the Little Village celebration with the big Italian flavor. We were down last night and had a wonderful dinner. Boy, the big crowds last night, but it was great food.
Thousands of people lining the streets here today, as you can see, for the parade. Another little known fact is that North Hudson started out as being called the North Star. It was originally named the North Star because it was north of Hudson, and it is still today its own government and public services. Kind of in the middle of town. Well, I'll bring that up later, but here comes the Color Guard.
This is the American Legion Post 50 and the VFW Post 2115.
Honoring those that have passed away, serving in the services, and those that are still veterans alive and around the community. Thank you, gentlemen, very, very much for your service. The next unit is the Centennial Civil War Brigade, well represented today. We have a break in the parade as the Color Guard does their salute here at the main judging stand. They've got a wonderful day today for this. The weather is not too hot, not too cold, as represented by the thousands of people that are lining up the streets. We have a little picture moment up here for the Color Guard, and it looks like some of the candidates or some of the children in the parade will have the 21 gun salute here. These gentlemen in the Color Guard go around to different communities and different parades honoring the veterans of foreign wars and the American Legion throughout the community. And they also provide graveside services for those who pass away.
Next on our parade route is the St. Croix EMS. We have a paramedic unit going by right now.
This first vehicle that you see is like a first responder. They take these vehicles home with them, are on call 24 hours a day, and serve the community and respond to the emergency needs within minutes of the call. Many people will attest to the wonderful services of the St. Croix EMS and paramedics. Coming up right behind the St. Croix EMS is who?
Looks like there's another EMS rescue truck coming in, but behind them is the fire department.
That is a big EMS ambulance. wonderful volunteers and paid EMS staff serving their community. And as always, they still have the old Dodge Brothers fire truck. Keep it running for parades. This was one of the first fire trucks that City of Hudson ever had when they went mobile. The hook and ladder truck, a big and important unit for the Hudson Fire Department. I only wish I could get my car to be as shiny as they got those fire trucks. Very recognizable sounds. You hear it in the community all year long. Unfortunately, it's not one you want to hear. But thanks to the volunteers and the serving members of the Hudson Fire Department, EMS, a lot of property and lives have been saved and spared. And there's the Hudson Fire Chief from brush number 8, Jimmy Fry.
We also have representing us today is the St. Joseph's Fire Department going past us right now.
The St. Joe Fire Department is just north of North Hudson. It's a rural community, also attended to and manned by volunteers. If you've ever had need for the services of the fire department or the EMS, you can speak to how well they're trained and what they do for your community. And again, all volunteers. It's an old International Scout, one of their brush trucks, fighting fires in fields out in the country.
Looks like the St. Joseph's Fire Department is having a pancake breakfast on September 8th at the fire hall. It's all a free will donation.
Come on out and support your local fire department.
Here we have our Grand Marshal of the parade, Deb Copeland.
There's Deb Copeland.
Hi, Deb.
Deb is the daughter of Wally and Bernie Gregerson, who have been longtime members of the Pepperfest.
Next we have our good neighbor, Carlene, and in loving memory of her husband, Larry Qualley. Here we have the North Hudson Village trustee, Colleen O'Brien Berglund, and the City of Hudson Mayor, Alan Burchell.
Driven in a car, which is a Volkswagen convertible by Alan's wife, Jill. Alan's gonna have to take that car and have the fire department shine it up.
Hi, Al.
If you're coming through North Hudson sometime, right on Highway 35 in the middle of town, you'll see a highway marker. That highway marker is the 45th parallel which represents that it's halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Little known fact that it does run right through the community.
And here we have the 2012 Pepperfest Royalty.
That float's a rockin' and a hoppin'. We got the royalty doing their dance.
And behind them is the Pepperfest Royal family.
It takes a lot of effort for these queens and princesses to travel around probably about 20 parades a year, if I remember right.
Actually, I read it was 52 appearances
52 appearances. That's quite a few every month. So it takes the family support to get that done, and we honor them also here today.
Next up is the Hudson High School Marching Band. They're the Marching Raiders.
This is the local high school band. School's starting in a couple of weeks. Happy to see them here today.
Looks like they might be getting ready to do a performance for us.
Beautiful blue and white uniforms with white plumage on top of their hats. It's a beautiful sight. Takes a lot of work and effort for this band. Music's all memorized. There are no notes.
Next we have the St. Croix Animal Friends.
St. Croix Animal Friends is a nonprofit organization working to build a humane society adoption and education center to serve the community. The organization's goal is to promote a positive relationship between animals and people through education. Please support your local St. Croix Animal Friends.
Oh, we have a little pony.
Represented here today are ponies and dogs.
Next up is Wisconsin Credit Union.
The Wisconsin Credit Union has been an important part of Western Wisconsin's growth since 1939. There is a locally owned not-for-profit cooperative. Wisconsin Credit returns profits back to its members in the form of better rates, fewer fees, increased services, including its exclusive membership value pricing.
Next up is the Twin Cities Unicycle Club. I think we should get out and try that.
You go right ahead, I'll watch.
They make it look so easy.
Although there is somebody out there my age.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Hey, it's quite a group here.
Wow.
Nobody has any skin knees, so they're doing well today.
Look at these guys, how tall they are.
Last year in 2011, they competed in a national competition and convention in Madison, Wisconsin, winning 9 national titles, including unicycle, hockey, and basketball championships. Congratulations to the Twin Cities Unicycle Club. It is a family-orientated club and welcomes anyone interested in learning to ride. They have a website. You can find them at www.tcuc.org.
And this looks like
this is a Miss Spring Valley.
but it's not. It is. I think this is all the past kings, maybe, from the Pepperfest.
Oh
Yes,
yes.
it is.
These
There's
guys
Tony.
snuck into the parade. They are the past Pepperfest kings.
Hi, folks.
Godfather Tony there.
Looks like they're having a lot of fun. Looks like we have a Ford truck from Hudson Ford going past us now. Next up is a Spring Valley Royalty from Spring Valley, Wisconsin. The Spring Valley Royalty proudly was driven by Gary Hammond for 25 years. Their celebrations are the Dam Days in Spring Valley, September 14th, 15th, and 16th.
We want to issue a thank you to all of the community's bands and so forth that put out the effort and get up here today for this parade to make it a wonderful event for everybody to enjoy. Thanks for coming.
From the parade lineup, it looks like there's over 150 units in this parade. It is always a big draw.
Some people are going to be lucky enough to get a Jimmy John's sandwich. Coming up next in the parade is the Jimmy John's Hummer. Freaky fast delivery for Jimmy John's.
Their license plate even says Freaky Fast.
Locally owned, it's on the hill in Hudson. Stop in or call for Jimmy John's. Freaky fast delivery. You can order online at jimmyjohns.com.
Our next float is St. Louis Parktacular Ambassadors. Kids are looking like they're having fun.
Or they get that float a hopping.
Yep, Roberts.
Ford's been there.
Next float we have is the Roberts Lions Club Royalty from Roberts, Wisconsin.
This celebration is Good Neighbor Days. My lovely wife was the queen for Good Neighbor Days back in 19...
We're not saying,
I'm not saying,
but
I
many
guess.
years
I better not
ago.
say.
It was a fun time representing Roberts those many years ago.
Their celebration has already occurred this year. I believe it's in July.
First week in June.
First week in June.
Always the weekend after Memorial Day, it says.
Here comes Queen candidate.
Erin Carlson, sponsored by Alwyn's. I believe there's about 16 girls that are running for Pepperfest Queen this year.
When's the coronation?
It is tomorrow afternoon, I believe.
I have a calendar in front of me. It says 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. The coronation is in Pepperfest Park. There goes Claire Zayas from Cozy Corner, riding in a nice convertible Corvette.
Next we have Whitney Schmidt, who's sponsored by the Village Inn Sports Bar and Grill here in North Hudson.
Again, in a nice convertible Corvette. Wish I knew the years. Wish I had one. I wish I would.
Next we have Maggie Weller, sponsored by Bardell Dental. That's a nice car.
And she is in a convertible Chevy Camaro Rally Sport. Beautiful cars. Just remember that the fun festivities continue today over at the Pepperfest Park, which is the Village Hall, 1 block off of the main street where the parade is. After the parade today, there's food and games. The beer garden, bingo goes from 1 to 5.
Here we have the Hudson Royalty on the Hudson Bell, too.
Again, their float being pulled by Hudson Ford. Hudson Ford seems to be donating a lot of vehicles this year. That float has been around the area for a while and has won many, many awards.
Next we have the community of River Falls float, the River Falls Ambassadors. They're being, float being pulled by Bernards of River Falls. They are the city on the Kinney.
Can't say enough about the weather today. It sure is cooperating. I don't know if Dan Barber, the president of the Pepperfest, has special connections with Mother Nature, but whatever happened, it sure turned out good. At 4 p.m. today is Championship Spaghetti Eating Contest in the Pepperfest Park. Don't want to miss that one.
This is our 2011 Pepperfest Royalty. Looks like they're having a good time. Next up is the Wisconsin National Guard, the Bravo Company, 1 through 128th. Infantry out of New Richmond, Wisconsin.
Men and women serving their country, continuing to fight for the freedoms that we all enjoy. At 6 o'clock tonight in the Pepperfest Park, we have the Championship Hot Pepper Eating Contest. That's always a highlight of the celebration. Step on over and watch these men and women eat platefuls of peppers.
Teams of 5 will eat 1 pound of hot peppers
I can't eat 1 pepper.
in hope to win the top prize of $200.
Hey, cash prizes. Everybody loves that.
Next we have the Hudson Community Children's Center. They have been serving the community of Hudson since 1969, but the preschool curriculum is incorporated into our daily schedule.
The kids, I notice, are having a wonderful time picking up the candy and the gum and so forth that people are so generously giving away. And I notice that there are several orthodontic and dentist sponsors. They might get a little business out of this today.
Next up is the First State Bank and Trust here out of Hudson.
This is the new bank in town, recently moved to Hudson in the last few months. Welcome to Hudson.
Next we have St. Croix County Fairest of the Fair. And the Junior Fairest of the Fair.
St. Croix County Fair just being a couple of weeks ago.
And then we have a gorilla walking down the street here, playing an accordion. Always fun at the Pepperfest. Next up is the Crowning Achievements.
It's a special needs community program. They've been around the community for some time, since 2009. And they offer for men and women over the age of 16 with special needs.
Oh, somebody's got the chicken dance music going.
This is a tribute to Glenn Olson. He's a retired military personnel. Glenn has for years decorated his front yard with many, many Christmas lights and given back to the community with his volunteer and service for years. You'll notice we have the big white limousine followed by a little white smart car. It says, wait for me, Mommy.
Here we have the Dixieland Pickup Band. Let's take a listen.
How I wanna be in that number when the saints go marching in.
Next up, we have the St. Croix 4-H Ambassadors, the Rolling Hills 4-H Club. They cover the areas of North Hudson, Holton, and Somerset. They can participate in many community activities. And they also say they have a great time at the St. Croix County Fair in Glenwood City. Next up, we have Baumister Electric. Joey Baumister.
Give Baumister Electric a call to keep your house from sparking and arcing, or keep it arcing. Local electrical contractor.
Next up is a West St. Paul royalty.
The beautiful floats from all these communities take a lot of work.
Yep.
Greatly appreciated by everyone here.
Yep, thanks for coming to represent your town. Here we have Frederick Area Chamber of Commerce. They do travel a long ways to come to these different parades.
Next in the lineup is the HASA, the Hudson Area Swim Association. It is a local volunteer association helping kids to learn and compete to doing swim lessons.
Next up is a Red Cedar Canyon Assisted Living. Up and out goes the candy out the door.
I think they have a whole truckload of candy on there. Bingo again tonight at 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Pepperfest Park, right after or during the hot pepper eating contest. And here we have the St. Croix Pediatric Dentistry. 10 years experience providing safe and gentle dental care to kids in a friendly environment. Oral health care for infants, children, adults, adolescents, and patients with special needs.
Next up, we have Marnie Marie Photography Studio. She's located downtown Hudson. Marnie loves to learn about you and tell your story through the art of photography. Be sure to check out the photos later today from the parade on her Facebook page. Marnie Marie Photography. It's more than a photo, it's the experience. Marnie does a wonderful job here with her photography studio.
She's done many weddings and christenings and events of all kinds. She's around taking pictures today, and I'm sure you'll be able to find those pictures online.
Hi, Marnie. She's doing all the photo ops of the parade all the way down the route. Looks like they're having fun.
Tonight's band, if you're interested in dancing and some rock and roll music, starts at 8 o'clock. It's live music with the Bad Girlfriends.
Here we have Central Bank, now serving at 20 locations.
I believe Central Bank is one of the local banks in North Hudson. One of the only banks in North Hudson.
Next up, we have Congressman Sean Duffy, currently represents the 7th Congressional District, which now includes St. Croix County. He is committed to fighting for the values and ideals enshrined in our nation's Constitution. There's June.
Who?
June. Hi, June. Hi.
The festivities continue tomorrow, Sunday, at 11:30 in the morning. It's a new event this year. We have a kids tractor pull. Kids can bring their toy tractors and enter into a tractor pull at 11:30, and it starts off at noon.
Here we have the Osceola royalty.
Beautiful float from Osceola. Up along the banks of the St. Croix River with eagles.
Next up is candidate Maddie Goodman, sponsored by the Associated Bank.
Our next door neighbor.
Girls with the smiles, and they got that wave down. Hi, Maddie. And her dad driving.
Looks like her dad got a new car for the parade, at least for a loaner. Next in the parade lineup is Emily Borostic,
sponsored by Culver's.
See the license plate? Maddie Yolold.
Next up, we have Abby Patterson, sponsored by Keys Cafe and Bakery.
In another beautiful red Corvette convertible.
Here we have Stacy Warner, sponsored by Zappa Brothers here in North Hudson. And a nice BMW convertible.
Car being driven by her dad, I believe, Bill Warner. I hear a drum line coming.
Oh, they're having fun. They're called the Cracker Jacks Drumline. like we have some Frisbees coming down the street right now. It's the Freestyle Frisbees.
Don't forget, during the Pepper Festival, the carnival is over at the park. Bring the kids over and take them on the rides all weekend long. These are the Freestyle Players Association.
This is the Freestyle Frisbee duo of Terry and David Bogenhagen. They have been residents of North Hudson for 2 decades. They invite you to check out their website, freestyleplayers.org, for more information on the Freestyle Frisbee community.
Looks like it's a good exercise and a way to stay thin. Maybe I should do that.
Here comes the Amory float, the Amory City of Lakes. Amory will be celebrating their 125th anniversary this year. They're all decked out with their Pepperfest bandanas, celebrating today's celebration.
Right behind the Amory float, we have Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. They'd like to thank the St. Croix Valley communities for their support and patronage over the years. And they'd like to show their appreciation by sponsoring the Powder Puff Club for the parade's enjoyment, following right behind them.
And there comes the clowns.
What would a parade be without the clowns?
Always so much fun. All dressed up. Kids in front of us are really enjoying them, big smiles on their faces.
The Powder Puff Clowns have been a part of the local parades for many, many years.
Not sure.
This is the North Hudson Pepperfest float. We have the 2012 candidates, and
They're loaded with people, having fun.
that is actually the royalty for this year's Pepperfest, not the candidates. We have a Romney Ryan banner coming down the road. It looks like a Republican float with many of the candidates that are running for election or re-election this fall.
Next we have Wishes and More. It's a local nonprofit organization that enhances the life of a child fighting a terminal or life-threatening illness. Wishes or More provides wishes, scholarships, and memorials to these special kids and their families in their time of need. Please welcome volunteers and wish recipients walking in the parade today.
Hudson Youth Action is next.
Hudson Youth Action Hudson is a local nonprofit focused on high school age students. Its mission to empower and engage youth through service learning, leadership, and education.
Right behind them comes the
Hudson
Lions Club. They are having a large community garage sale on September 7th and 8th and a Rib Fest on September 15th at the Willow River Saloon in Burkhart.
Come on out and support your Hudson Lions Club.
Any items for donation to help the garage sale would help them raise funds for all of their community services and needs.
Next up, we have North Hudson's Pack 168 Cub Scouts. All dressed up in their Cub uniforms, having fun in the parade today. And here we have the Adrenaline Martial Arts. It's like the kids are giving us a little demonstration here on what they learned.
They're located at 1301 Gateway Circle, Suite 500 in Hudson.
Next we have Cumberland Royal Court. That's the Cumberland Chamber of Commerce. It's the island city of Cumberland, Wisconsin. Their festival is the Rutabaga Festival, always at the weekend preceding Labor Day, which is coming up very shortly.
Buy them rutabagas. Kids love them. Remember, the coronation tomorrow is at 3 o'clock over at Pepperfest Park. Come down and see your queen candidates and see who is going to be crowned Pepperfest Queen for the next year. And while you're there, you can partake in all the good food and eating. You have spaghetti, Dagos, hot peppers, raviolis. I think I had them all last night.
Bingo continues also tomorrow from 5:45 to 9:30, and then after that, at 7:30, the live music is the Dweebs. That's always a fun band to close out Pepperfest with. Here we have Hudson Physicians.
They're advertising "Get your flu shot" in the clinic. It's that time of year to start thinking about that. So get your flu shots. Be careful at the Minnesota State Fair next week for the swine flu. What?
Oh, here we go. Next up is Diane O'Dean for Wisconsin Assembly. Diane is the Democrat candidate, a progressive voice for Western Wisconsin.
Right behind her is the O'Connell Family Funeral Home Malay, driven by Hank Paulson, longtime member and supporter volunteer in the community.
Here we have, following them is a drum corps. I didn't catch their name, they weren't in my lineup, and they went by too fast, but let's take a listen to their music here.
And next is Queen candidate Carly Peterson, sponsored by
Noki's Chocolates.
Downtown Hudson. Get your sweets.
Another nice red convertible. Here we have Sarah Sparstead, sponsored by Agave Kitchen, downtown Hudson. Here comes Erin O'Brien. She's sponsored by Derek Gilbert, Anchor Insurance. Look at that nice car.
She's riding in a lovely Triumph TR6 convertible.
Here we have Ashley Lutke, sponsored by Luther Hudson Chevrolet.
In a sharp-looking Camaro convertible.
Next we have AAA of Wisconsin.
Behind AAA, we have Roberts Towing. Big shiny truck, and we have some animal caricatures and Christmas trees.
It says, follow us north to Alaska, On Stage Alaska Travel Show.
And another AAA representative going by now. AAA is the American Automobile Association, around for many, many years, helping improve the safety of our highways.
And here comes some St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Klondike Cakes.
The Royal Order. And of course, a parade would not be without the Vulcans.
Couldn't be the same without the Vulcans. They show up. This is their 126th year with the royal family.
This is the Volcanus Rex and the 75th and his crew.
They help represent the city of St. Paul in its winter wonderland. It's called the coolest celebration on earth in January, from the 24th to the 3rd of February.
Here we have the Prince of Snow and the Princess of Snow. The Prince of Ice and the Princess of Ice.
Next in line is the King of Frost and the Queen of Snowflakes. Wyatt Lewis is the King of Frost, and Madison Montero is the Queen of Snowflakes. Lots of activities at the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Here's the King Boreas, Steve Cortinas, and the Queen of Snows, Ashley Hayes, along with the Prime Minister, Steve Grand.
And more Winter Carnival representatives, the North Wind Prince and the North Wind Princess.
It's coming. I'm bringing it.
Here's the East Wind Princess and the East Wind Prince. Here's the West Wind Princess, Elizabeth, and the West Wind Princess, Dave. And this guy's got a big pepper on his head.
I think they brought the city of St. Paul with them. We have two more, the South Wind Prince and the South Wind Princess.
Always a fun time to have them here. Here's a Winter Carnival Senior Royalty. And behind them following is the Royal Guard.
I know you can't see the entire parade route, but it goes for about a mile, and it is lined up with people 10 and 12 deep the entire length. A lot of people out here today enjoying the good weather and the beautiful parade. Next on our agenda is the Hudson Basketball Association. volunteer organization to bring kids to the sport of basketball. They take kids from pre-K to 8th grade and get them to learn and participate in basketball programs. It is a feeder program for the high school basketball team, which has always done so well.
Next up is Sheila Harsdorf for State Senate.
Sheila's a longtime representative in our state senate, doing an excellent job. Running for re-election again. The lady has lots of energy.
Here we have Citizens State Bank.
Citizens State Bank, located on the hill in Hudson.
And here comes the Anoka Royal Ambassadors. Anoka always is well known for their celebration of Halloween. This will be their 92nd year.
Interesting float with a haunted house.
Their celebration includes 3 parades, wine tasting, costume contests, a Grey Ghost run, a house decorating contest, and the ambassadors. They really go all out.
Starts with light up parade night on Saturday, October the 20th.
Their Grand Day Parade is on Saturday the 27th. Here we have Williams Brothers Cleaning, Carpet and Upholstery. They're a small family-owned business here in Hudson. Next up is Lakeville's panel program.
Next we have the Jesse James Day representatives from Northfield. They are the week after Labor Day.
Witness for yourselves a guns blazing in the failed robbery attempt by Jesse James Younger Gang, along with lots of other great activities. Here we have Clear Lake, Wisconsin.
Their float and royalty.
They celebrate Heritage Days.
Right behind Clear Lake is Centuria. They celebrate their memory days in the second full weekend in July. Coming up behind them is the St. Paul bouncing team, performing aerial acrobatics at public events and parades throughout the year. They date back, if this is correct, to 1886. Bouncing is the single oldest event associated with the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Make sure to help out the team by counting along. 1, 2, up she goes. Oh, they're gonna get ready here.
There goes the lady up into the bounce bag.
1,
2, 3.
she goes. Woo! Oh, a double.
A double breach. I think that takes a little practice.
There they go again.
I think this is a spectator.
1, 2,
2,
up
3.
she goes. Wow.
That was a young lady out of the crowd. Obviously, she must know those folks, but did a beautiful job.
Here we have the Hudson Daybreak Rotary.
They have a raffle going on for a new Ford Mustang, and it looks like a scooter. Buy your raffle tickets from your local Rotary representatives. Hudson Daybreak Rotary has given nearly $500,000 back to the community in scholarships, grants, and for local nonprofit.
And right behind them is the Ellsworth Funsters. They got their horns going.
More clowns. You get more than cheese curds out of Ellsworth. You got the Ellsworth Funsters. Next behind them is our very own local Dean Knutson, State Assembly.
Next up, we have Tom's Mechanical Music. Following the music, we have the Luck Royalty. They've got the wave down.
Lots of parades to practice it for.
Been to a lot of them, it looks like, with all their buttons on their sashes. Had a busy summer.
Their Lucky Days parade is in the third weekend of July.
And here comes the Zora Roadrunners. They are members of the St. Croix Valley Shrine Club. The Shrine Club raises money to support 22 shrine hospitals throughout North America.
You hear the tires screeching as they put on their performance and show.
They participate in over 22 parades each summer in western Wisconsin and eastern Minnesota.
The little east-west shrine game is held at the University of Wisconsin River Falls. They raised over $500,000 for shrine hospitals for children.
There they go.
And down the road they go.
Camera.
Getting some great camera shots here today.
There they go again. They're having fun.
If you're not here today, you're missing out on a lot of fun. But thankfully to the cable system, you'll be able to watch it on TV anytime and over again. And down the road, they go, the Zora Roadrunners. Up, coming back. Gonna want to make every kid grow up to be a Zora Roadrunner and drive one of those four-wheelers.
That must be the signal. Are they done?
I don't know.
Yay!
Great performance.
Great job. Looks like we have another float coming down representing Durand. This is the Durand royalty out of Durand, Wisconsin, down south of us. Their celebration is the Fun Fest celebration. It's held the second weekend in June.
Their car is draped in beautiful purple and silver.
Wow. Very pretty. Miss Durand, Carissa Bauer, and her princesses. Up next, we have the Isanti ambassadors. And they're sponsored by the Lions Club. Their celebration is in July, the 5th through the 8th. They celebrate Rodeo Jubilee Days. Next up, Star Prairie Royalty. They're up dancing away, having fun. They got those dance moves down.
Their celebration is the Ox Cart Days, which is the third weekend in August, which probably is today. They're probably going to hustle home and get back in their own parade.
Oh, they're getting the crowd into it. All the way. Next up, we have the Joyful Noise Preschool. They're through the Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Next up, we have the Hopkins Raspberry Festival. That's a pretty float with the bright red colors.
A big float too. Their celebration is the third weekend in July, the Raspberry Festival.
And they have their junior ambassadors up front.
Seesaw and swinging away.
Here we Lakeland Village Barbershop. Here we have the North Branch Midsummer Ambassadors, Jessica and Lydia. Next up is the Baldwin Junebug Days. Their celebration this year was June 5th through the 9th. They're sponsored by the Baldwin Woodville Area Chamber of Commerce.
Dancing and waving as they go by.
Here we have the First American Bank. Kids are riding the float, having a good time here, throwing some candy. Here comes Buffalo Days. The city of Buffalo is known as the beautiful city by the lake.
Their celebration is in June. Looks like the second weekend in June. This year it was the 10th through the 17th.
Next up we have Cambridge. They're representing the beautiful city of Cambridge, Minnesota on the banks of the Rum River. Also tomorrow at Pepperfest is the pepper cooking contest. It's at 3 o'clock at the North Hudson Village Hall.
I'm sure many of you out there want to learn how to cook peppers. Come on up for the free class.
Here we have a dentistry.
La Petite Dentistry.
We have River Valley Services RV. Is the truck that's pulling the dentistry wagon here. They are located in Hudson between Target and Walgreens.
Frisbees seem to be the big
Oh,
item to
that's
throw
fun.
out the parade this year. Kids seem to like it a lot.
no candy from the dentistries to hand out.
I wouldn't expect that.
Oh, look at the big shark with his big toothbrush.
And they have boxes and boxes
It's of Frisbees.
of Frisbees.
Kids are loving it. Wish these people would stand back so we could see. Next up, we have Cozy Corner.
And they're being pelted with water balloons. The sidelines and people, the spectators are throwing water balloons at those in the cage. And I think there's a couple hundred water balloons going to be launched here. This was obviously pre-planned.
Ha ha ha. They got the squirt guns going.
They're getting soaked in there.
It doesn't stop. They are just pelting them here. We have a queen candidate coming up. They're keeping their distance from this water fight we're having here. But it's Chelsea Bates. She's sponsored by Hudson Ford. The water fight continues as they go down the road. They're spraying them with green water now.
Next coming by is Queen candidate Caitlin Fikema, sponsored by Altissimo Nails and Hair Salon.
You guys, what? Next up, we have Tess Solberg, sponsored by Solo Hair Design here in Hudson. Here's Kayla Dornfield. She's sponsored by Barker's Bar and Grill and San Pedro.
Hammond.
Here comes Hammond. They celebrate the Heartland Days. Here's their royal court. They just had their Heartland Days last weekend. Hammond is the heart of St. Croix County. Next up we have Family Fresh.
Family Fresh Market is a local grocery store located on the hill in Hudson.
Got their shopping carts all decorated for the parade today. They're floating red, white, and blue coming down. They're from Delano. Delano celebrates the oldest and largest 4th of July celebration in the state of Minnesota.
Following behind them are the Hudson Hospital Community and Clinics, representatives from the local area hospital. Coming up behind the hospital representatives is Ignite Martial Arts.
Network Youth Ministries. They provide quality and professional martial arts training for students ages 3 and above. Boy, there's a lot of them coming down the parade route here. All
Holy
ages.
cow, the whole class is here.
It must be a popular thing to do. They say classes are available 6 days a week. We're getting a little sample here. Nice job.
Next in the lineup is Networks. It's an ecumenical youth ministry supported by 4 churches in Hudson: the First Baptist, First Presbyterian, St. Paul's, and Mount Zion Lutheran.
And here comes Cottage Grove. They celebrate Strawberry Fest. This is just a wonderful parade today. They have communities representing all throughout Wisconsin and Minnesota that all enjoy coming to Pepperfest. And what a better, you couldn't ask for a better day for a parade today. Not too hot, sun's out. Next up we have Osseo.
Osseo has their celebration on the 3rd weekend of June. It's called Lake Martha Days. Osceo's got to be about 90 miles down the freeway, so they've come a long ways today. Thanks for coming.
And here we have Robbinsdale. They celebrate Whiz Bang Days. It'll be their 65th annual festival this year, which is the second weekend in July.
Again, from the St. Paul Carnival, we have a couple more. Well, I guess not from the Carnival. This is
South St. Paul.
Representatives from their celebration.
Here we have Glenwood City. They celebrate Glenwood City's Rustic Lore Days. This year's theme was There's No Place Like Home. Their celebration is September 6th through the 9th coming up. They're having a parade September 9th. They say hope to see you all there. Here comes Prescott.
My local hometown, Prescott Days. Those are coming up, I believe, in September 6th and 9th. Beautiful float from Prescott.
Amazing, all the towns doing their city celebrations throughout the summer.
We have the Romney for President bus.
Following him, we have the Town of Tormented Souls. We got a big skeleton on the front. The largest haunted house in western Wisconsin. Next up, we have the Woodville Lions Club float. They celebrate Sitnamaya, always in May. It's a Norwegian celebration there in Woodville.
Here we have a pickup truck from Latte Women's Ministry of Faith Community Church. It'll kick off their 10th season Sunday, September 30th. It's a group for women of all ages to seek and encourage one another through its once a month events.
Next up, we have the Red Wing Royalty Ambassadors. This is the first parade for these newly crowned ambassadors. The ladies would like to thank the City of North Hudson for being such gracious hosts and including them in all their festivities. They're just starting out their reign. They'll have a really enjoyable time. That's a pretty float.
A lot of work goes into all of these floats. All volunteers and donated funds.
Next up, we have Shell Lake. They celebrate Country Days during Labor Day weekend.
Baby looks good on you, John.
Here we have Valley Orthodontics. The Valley Orthodontics Tooth Fairy and team are happy to see so many smiling faces today. There she is. Here we have Fitogo, an all-women's health club. It's a fast, fun health club for women. Next up, we have Jet Black Seal Coating and Asphalt Repair.
Jet Black's been in business for 25 years, and their group is dedicated to providing a professional team for your projects. Give Jet Black a call.
Looks like we have Hudson Great Clips coming up next. They're open every day, including weekends for your convenience. Check them out online at Great Clips or download the app.
And next we have the Hudson Area Optimist Club.
Their sign says, Optimists bringing out the best in kids. Here we have the American Red Cross, the St. Croix Valley chapter.
Please take the time to donate blood. Right now, blood banks are at an all-time low. I think they said it is at a record 50-year low. If you can't donate the blood, donate some money for disaster relief. watching this from home, you're welcome to come up after the parade's over. Beer garden, food services, bingo, and much other is going on at the festival park. Come on up and join the fun. Here is the River Community Church.
They're handing out cold water today.
Join us.
They apparently have their services at the St. Joe Town Hall, and they say, come join us.
This is the Hudson Kickball. It's a league sponsored by Rush River. And our honking horns are coming down the road now.
This is the Top Runner Car Club. They give donations to local communities, food shelves, school supplies for kids in needs, and their number one concern is the community. Looks like they are out of the Twin Cities. Some pretty fancy, shiny cars.
Oh yeah, I guess. Looks like they're having fun going down the parade route here. Next up we have Oakwood Dental.
I don't know if you can see their signs, but they're offering a $1 exam, and it looks like free teeth whitening for new customers. Stop in at Oakwood Dental. Right behind the dental comes Paveless Antique Tractors. He restores old Farmall tractors and John Deere tractors to a new condition. It is the hobby of Roger Pavlis. The new ones don't look that good. You always recognize the color green, John Deere.
Well, we're 2 hours into the parade now. It's been a 2-hour parade at it's almost 1 o'clock. And right now from 1 to 4 is the royalty spaghetti eating contest. You have these girls that are all dressed up in their finery and gowns and everything for the parade, but then they go over and they try and win the spaghetti eating contest. Always a fun time to watch the royalty partake in that.
Competition between different communities and their royalty.
So head on over to the park this afternoon and watch the spaghetti eating contest. Then they have the champion spaghetti eating contest and the hot pepper eating contest all afternoon.
Here comes the Hudson Raiders dance team. This is a local dance team from the high school, I believe, and then they have participated in state competitions and brought home their own share of trophies.
A little kick line here.
That's got to take some practice.
They've had their workout going through the parade route here. Great job, girls. Here we have My Sister's Garden, garden center, cut flowers, landscaping. Here we have the Willow River Company Landscaping and Tree Farm.
Right behind the Willow River Company is Anchor Insurance, another local insurance company from Hudson.
They're located on Vine Street next to the YMCA. More participants representing Anchor Insurance here in a luxury limo. Here we have the Safeway Bus Company. School's starting soon. You'll see those school buses out and about picking up kids to take them to school. Here we have Uncle Mike's Emporium. Maybe.
Oh, up by J.R. Wrench. Willow River Car Club. We're getting fed here now.
Here we have St. Croix Falls royalty. Says the City of Trails.
St. Croix Falls up there at the headwaters of the St. Croix River.
Aurelia, it was nice to meet you. We'll try to be here the same spot next year because we need good water balloon throwers.
Coming back now is some of the Pepperfest staff, hard-working crew. I met them last night at the beer bar. Remember when you come over to the Pepperfest that if you're having some refreshments, just to drink responsibly. We want nobody hurt or to get in trouble, so have a good time, but drink responsibly.
And all the proceeds from the Pepperfest donated by your support of food and at the beer gardens and everything go to support the local youth, school, and community organizations.
Right now going by are some of the local village street crew and their trucks. You'll notice every one of them is ready to put on a snowplow, but hopefully that'll be a ways away. We want to thank you all for listening, enjoying the parade today. If you couldn't make it up here, please watch it on your local cable channel. It was my pleasure sharing this afternoon with my lovely wife, Barbara.
It was a wonderful parade as always. A successful 2012 Pepperfest. The weather has cooperated immensely.
Have a good day. Come back to the Pepperfest and enjoy the festivities.